I'm a young man. I like a babe, but I don't have money. The babe is upper class. Her parents live in Lekki, I live in Aja. So if we get married, we're probably going to start to go back to Abraham Adesanya. I'm relatively okay. I have a job. I'm not rich. Am I going above my pay grade by choosing this fine girl who I cannot sleep in the night, I cannot wake up in the morning, her name is on my lips, this girl, Dabaru, Orimi, Patak Patak.
It all starts from who are you? The quality of a relationship is dependent on the quality of the individual. Give me two people, one man or one woman, who knows who they are in God, who have a relationship with God, who have an understanding of their purpose, who understand their personality and their core values, and who is working towards a vision and has maybe not a lot of money now. Give them 5 years. Give me someone who has a lot of money now, doesn't understand identity, hasn't healed from baggage, doesn't know where they're going. Let's look at it in 5 years.
Can marriage be beautiful, really, if well built?
People, all they see is break up. Therefore, they're like, is there anything good in marriage? But also, it's the lie of the enemy. Because the devil has a way of propagating evil. There are people building healthy marriages. They're just not making noise about it. In Hollywood, Bollywood, all the hoods, have sort of a lie about what marriage is.
And all the skits too.
And all the skits, The world is always about propagating fear. Right. Media propagates fear. Everything, what sells, fear sells, evil sells, The greatest disservice you can do for yourself is let the world help you make a decision in something that you have not tested, even tried or proven.
In today's conversation, I have a beautiful, amazing, wise counselor as a guest, Sola Oguche-Agudah. She is a leader of a ministry. She and her husband have recently started a learning center called the Agudah University. It's going to be incredible. Like, these people are wild. The things they do in terms of building so many new homes, helping people to form their marriages properly, and the things they do are very, very insightful. And I'm super excited to welcome you to Touch the Sky podcast.
Happy to be here.
Welcome.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
I wanna go to the sky, I wanna see through your eyes. Hey, I'm not believing the lies, I'm not believing the lies. I wanna go to the sky, I wanna see through your eyes. Hey, I'm not believing the lies, I'm not believing the lies. Hey,
So, Olusola Oguche-Agudah, tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm a family coach and counselor. I'm also an author. I'm a mediator. I like to call myself a social entrepreneur, and I'm passionate about building healthy individuals who build healthy families and then go ahead to transform nations. The family is the building block of the society. We hear that a lot, but I don't think we really understand it. But what it means is that every individual comes from a family, and nations are made up of individuals. And so a nation is actually a reflection of its individuals. So I'm passionate about getting it from the grassroots and really, really, if I can overuse the word passionate, about raising wholesome and holistic children. We will become, the next generation of global agents, change makers, history makers. So that's, I think it's in a nutshell. Wife and mom, also mom to two amazing teenagers who keep me on my toes. Married to my best friend. Yes, we're growing. And married to my best friend for 18 years. So we're getting there.
18. Tinsels. Your life has been checkered in many ways, but one of the things that I know about you is that you've been involved in premarital counseling. What drove you to this ministry?
When I was growing up, I didn't know a lot of divorced people. I don't know if you knew.
Yeah.
And then when I got married quite early. And I just didn't understand why people were getting divorced. I was so confused. I was like, why are people getting divorced? And as I began to explore that, I found out that I would say like 4 or 5 reasons why people get divorced. One is that you actually are not prepared for the institution of marriage. You have no idea what it is. It's just, I love this person, the way I like it. I love you, you love me, we're in love, let's get married. Or the dating period, totally unintentional. So you just think, let's hang out, let's go out, let's vibe, let's do all of those things, unintentional. Or you can actually marry the wrong person. Or you yourself, you haven't dealt with your wounds. So it's been traced, like in counseling, I can tell you that almost, I think it's healthy to say 70 to 80% of marriage concerns can be traced down to childhood trauma, really. and then also, character flaws, just immaturity. And we found out that a lot of work that was needed to make marriage work had to happen
before the marriage. Right.
And so that's why we started doing, premarital counseling. And when we started doing premarital counseling, we found out that, people don't even know who they are.
Right.
You're getting married and then you don't know who you are. So we had to trace it back a notch backwards.
Personality test.
And personality test. I started doing discovery. So we have a discovery course for singles, which is about, do you know you?
Right.
Get to know you. And then when you know
Get to meet yourself.
Get to meet yourself. Say, hi, this is who I am. Because the quality of any relationship is dependent on the quality of the individual. Your relationship cannot outgrow who you are as a person. And if you have math, 1 + 1 is equal to 2. But in marriage, we know that 1 + 1 is equal to 1, which is one whole person plus one whole person makes a whole marriage. And so if Pimo is half and I'm 1/4, if we were married, for instance, the quality of that marriage would be 1/4. It takes the lowest fraction of the person. So we found out, do the work before so that we reduce the work.
Do the work before. Do the work before.
Do the work.
Like, that's actually the point, especially guys. Like, how can you tell me how to be with my babe?
Exactly.
Right. What do you I love this woman. What are you going to teach me about how to be with my babe? You want to teach me how to be with my woman?
This thing, it's so interesting. Even in classes, we have so many women. And so anytime I see the men, I just honor them.
Right.
I think that one of the best things in life is to know that you don't know.
Right. And many guys don't know that they don't know.
They don't
especially
know.
Men.
Yes. And let me tell you, people, the reason why ladies do well is because there's a community. Your mom is talking, your aunt is talking, your sister is talking, your friend is talking. Everybody feels they can talk to you. But the men, nobody's talking. And I say men raise men. So I don't even think it's about women talking to men, even though I frustrated my son many times by doing that.
Right.
I've told him, I said, I have made a commitment that she will not frustrate my daughter-in-law. Nobody will call me crying because I did not do a good job. So when he does some things, I say, what am I doing? He say, oh, mommy, so that I don't frustrate your daughter-in-law. I say, we're in a good condition. We're in a good place. Yes. And so things like art of conversation, emotional intelligence, knowing what to say, those things, honestly, should be taught at home.
Right.
And so the reason, again, why we're having dysfunctionality is that the home has lost its place.
Yeah.
If we do it right, you have 4 amazing girls,
right.
and they've seen you in your marriage. You've had conversations with them.
Right.
By the time they're getting ready for marriage, that's not what is preparing them for
right.
marriage. It is the work of the last 20 plus years. Then what you do in those last 3 to 6 months is the icing on the cake. So really, when we're saying those courses, it's because they are makeshift. We're trying to crash course 25 years, 30 years in 6 weeks. So that's really it. Because
6 weeks where there's someone still trying to cut the class. I'm too busy.
I'm too busy.
I'm on the rig.
And that's discovery. We've not even done marriage preparation.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that by the time our children are getting married, they are going to do those courses, but it's refreshing.
Yeah.
Because they understand identity.
Right.
Because they understand who they are. They understand what their core values are. They understand their personality.
Yes.
They understand strengths and weaknesses. They are aware. And so you see that the reason why we're doing that is because we're closing gaps that were not originally supposed to be there.
How do you then handle people who feel like as if you're trying to control them, especially in the premarital counseling phase? Many people feel like you're just trying to spoon feed them and control them. How do you unlock them? Give us like a hack in terms of how you unlock them that you're not trying to control them, you're trying to help them. What do you say to them that helps them see? Maybe that should communicate to our listeners on this podcast as well.
I think that one of the things we try and do is now give you a real picture. I always say Hollywood has sold us a lie. But it's not just Hollywood. Nollywood, Bollywood, all the hoods, have sold us a lie about what marriage is.
And all the skits too.
And all the skits, And so first of all, we just bring you to reality. We say, guys, this is serious business. Yeah. One day I began to think, I think when I was talking to my husband, I said, I think what we came up with is marriage an organization.
Right.
Should it be run like an organization? And when you ask people, you'll be like, oh my God, no, but it is an organization that runs from one generation to another generation. And therefore, look at the people we admire. Is it the Rockefellers? Is it even the icons of this world? Look at them. The Rockefellers, at the last time I checked, was 7th generation philanthropy.
Wow.
How do you think that was built? Somebody was working behind the scenes. And
to pass on a legacy.
Exactly. And so a marriage really, God willing, should go 50, 60, 70 years. if an organization stays that long, it's considered a success.
Right.
Guess what? And then you go to the next generation. And as
Right.
you know, God is a God of generations, the God of
Yes.
Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And so the first thing is to paint you the picture that you are planning for 50, 60, 70 years. And you have to honestly ask yourself, are you ready?
Are you ready? Good question, right? People ask for permission. They don't ask for know-how. So they come to me as a pastor, as a gatekeeper. I want to marry this person. Do you approve? I ask them a question. Do you know how to be married?
Exactly.
Do you understand? So people are always asking for permission to be married. Oh, like, I like this person, pastor, if you can just approve. And I'm like, no. It's not about me approving. Do you know what it takes to make this person you're getting married to happy?
Yeah.
So people are not asking for know-how as much as they're asking for rites of passage.
True.
So if you're a pastoral person or a leader or a counselor, because I will ask them, have you done counseling? So if I ask them that question, then they'll go and meet you, who is a counselor, and say to you, you shall approve for us.
Do you know what I started doing? Do you know, I now give disapprovals. I said, I do not approve. I didn't used to do it before.
But you advise some couple after counseling,
Definitely, I said,
they shouldn't marry.
recommended not to marry.
Wow.
Recommended to take some time.
So,
And I started getting bolder when I would counsel and I would see red flags. And I would say, there are red flags. And you're trying to say to it, and the person like, I can figure it out. And then after you've seen it, I say
over and over, you feel
like,
responsible a little bit.
So like recommended not to marry, recommended to take some time. For instance, you come in for counseling, maybe you're trying to get married maybe in 3 months, and then you discover something. There's been infidelity maybe, or something happened, and then you're telling me you still want us to do it in 3 months. I'm like, no. And I'm saying
3 months is even good. Say next month. They have a date before they came to you. Yeah.
And I'm saying let's work through it. Let's determine whether it was a mistake or a character flaw. Let's see whether he is healing. Let's ensure that there's no trauma. And so there are times that I'm like, I do really recommend that you don't marry. And in times that people have actually really seen to the recommendation, it's proven to be worthwhile. And it's sad that in times, maybe except one, maybe once, that people haven't, it's not worked. And that's not, you don't want to be right. You don't want to say, no, that's sad.
Okay, but then also there's this negativity about marriage where people have fears.
Yeah.
They don't want to be married. They feel like marriage is going to be dark. It's going to be crazy. They know so many people now who are divorced. Some people don't have even one good model. Everybody, their uncle, their auntie, everybody in their house is divorced. You see in this institution of marriage with a lot of fear. Can marriage be beautiful, really, if well built? Can it be amazing?
Marriage is the most beautiful human institution upon the surface of the earth, comparable to nothing else except Christ and the church.
Wow.
I believe that God gave us a gift in marriage that assures you that you will never be alone.
Right.
And I say that that's the model of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. The Bible says he puts a solitary in families. He's not alone. God is 3 in 1.
Yeah.
So when people say to me, I can do life by myself, I say, even God does life with the Trinity.
Right.
And so how do you think
So
you want
good.
to do it alone? Even God does life with the
tweetable.
Trinity.
Tweet it. Even God does life with the Trinity.
God does life with the
So
Trinity. And I think, like you said, no role models. People, all they see is breakups. And therefore, they're like, is there anything good in marriage? But also, it's the lie of the enemy. Because the devil has a way of propagating evil. There are 7,000 who have not bowed to Baal. There are people building healthy marriages. They're just not making noise about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes people say, maybe they should also make noise. But I'm like, that is also a lie.
Yeah,
It's a
you
lie
don't
that
have to-
says,
you have to be noisy
yes,
too.
everybody say, no, that is also a lie. What I feel is that we begin to build a culture where people see marriages work.
Right.
It will go from generation to generation. When I speak to my daughter or my son, even the concepts that they have, it's not even because I taught it, it's because they saw it. Do you get? And there's some things that, they're saying, and somebody says that, and they're like, what? And it's not why, because they have seen that it works. So for people that are afraid, just think about it. The world is always about propagating fear.
Right.
Media propagates fear. Everything, what sells? Fear sells, evil sells, Good, think about it. You meet a great guy, you meet a really terrible guy. Which one sells more?
Right, bad guy.
Yeah, it's a bad guy that always sells.
And who shoots the gun?
Always,
And drives fast cars.
Exactly.
James Bond.
All the time. And so you have to, I think that the greatest disservice you can do for yourself is let the world help you make a decision in something that you have not tested, even tried or proven. Make up your mind that I'm going to give myself first of all, be the best version of you and see whether you won't have a godly marriage or a healthy marriage. It's
So good.
impossible.
Okay, let me flip to the other side. The other side is African parents and pressure on young single ladies that they must marry or else they have a disease.
After they've even told them not to talk to any man.
Yeah.
So when they are growing up, don't talk to any man, don't talk to anybody. Then all of a sudden, where's your husband?
Don't be pregnant.
Don't be pregnant.
Somebody told me how their parents used to check them out whenever they are coming back to make sure from uni that they haven't been pregnant. It's so bad. African parents put so much pressure on you and then turn back and now start pressuring you to get married.
Yeah.
Some people are sick down to the bone of their continuous, relentless petulance of their parents, pestering them.
Yeah.
You're not married this year. It's your birthday. You're not married. It's your this thing, So if there was a parent with an adult child watching this, what would you say to them? And if you want to send this podcast or a young person to send it to their parents, what would you say to the parents?
I would say that marriage is part of life, not all of life.
Right.
Marriage is a part of everything. It's not the whole. That's not all that there is to marriage. Because you and I know, people, this is here you doing Touch the Sky podcast.
Yes.
Why did you say, okay, I'm married, I have children, I'm not going to do anything?
Right.
But there's more.
There's more.
There's more. And
There's more.
the truth is, in that adult child that is not married, can't you see the more?
Yeah.
Can't you see the job? Can't you see the career? Can't you see the business? Can't you see the graces? Can't you see? Let me tell you what cured this for me. I remember one time being worried about a friend of mine. I was like, oh my gosh, she's not married. And the Holy Spirit said to me, what if in my calendar it's not time? He says, I have the calendar. I hope you know that it's not. So the world has painted an age, time. It's not true. Yes, I do believe in time and season. I believe in doing things early.
Flower of your youth.
Yes, I believe in all of that. And I
According to-
think, honestly, if you can do it early, do it. Is the bestest, if I can say. Because you do it, you'll grow while at it. But there are times, and I'm sure you've seen amazing people.
I've met amazing people.
Amazing people.
Amazing.
And you're wondering, where are they? Where are the men? There's also, everyone has a journey.
Right.
And I remember saying to one of my friends one time, I said, leave your parents' house, get a car. I said, get an apartment. I said, travel. I said, do a
do other
business.
things.
I said, do
Stretch it.
life.
Let down
Stretch
your
it.
hair.
Yes. And every time that I've seen that happen, and I've seen that they began to blossom,
Yeah.
somewhere along the line, the person comes. And let me tell you the truth. God is a restorer of time.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they come with someone that is either has kids already. So it looks like you've been married for years.
Right.
Because you are not alone. Now, someone says, I don't want to marry someone that has kids. I'm like, you're not looking at it well.
Yeah.
Look at it with the lenses of heaven. God has given you time.
Yeah.
Restored 13 years, 14
You
years,
now have
15.
children, you
You
can
are now
parent.
children, yes. And then you have become, the Bible says that, the barren woman has been called the mother of many children.
We have these cultural lenses through which we view other people's children.
Yeah.
But tomorrow's family is the blended family, right? Because as more divorces happen, people come into marriages with other people's kids, whether men or women, and now these children now become siblings in a house where they didn't know each other before. That's the blend. I have a book I'm writing called The Blended Families.
That'll be really good.
Yeah,
That'll be
the
really
dynamics of that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be quite an interesting season in the families of tomorrow.
Yeah. And for people that have a problem blending, I say, we are adopted.
Right.
We're all adopted in the family of Christ. When I have a problem with adoption, I'm like, you are adopted.
Yes.
We're all adopted.
We're not the firstborn.
We're not the firstborn. How many of us are Jews? You're not the firstborn. So I know you're not from the lineage of Abraham in quotes, but we've been adopted into the family of Christ. And I think that's
So
one way
good.
to look at it and say, look, we're adopted. And the Bible uses the word adoption. And so, yes, tomorrow's family is the blended family. It comes with its own peculiarities, and we have to be careful.
good.
And we have to be prepared
Prepared
also
for
for
it.
it. But I do think that God uses that to also restore.
When people have gotten married, how do you enrich marriage? How do you make marriage satisfactory? How do you grow the wine of marriage? Before people get married, we're begging them, don't have sex yet.
Then you get married.
When they get married, they don't want to have sex again. We're now begging married people, please have more sex. Please have more sex.
Wow. I think that marriage can get very mundane if it's not worked out.
Yeah.
I think nothing great happens by accident. Great marriages are not born, they are created. think about any organization, you have to do the work, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're married, you have to realize that there's work to be done. Counseling, I tell them, go on staycations, go on vacations. I'm saying keep the date nights. I said life has a way of happening to us, especially when the children come. We can make it all around the children, all about getting work, but you have to make time for you. And so you have to ask yourself, what will make this flame, really continue to burn? Having time alone, having a long time, having cuddle time, but it must be planned. Because what I don't like is, I think we all know what to do.
Right.
I think it's not that. I don't think it's that we don't know what to do. I think it's because somewhere in our minds, we think it's just going to happen.
Yeah, or we'll do it later.
Yeah, we'll do it later. You have to plan it. I said we get mechanical until it becomes actually digital or automatic. So I say, plan. What day is date night? When are we going on a staycation? And I know people, sometimes people say, Shola, you're crazy. I'm like, okay, when do we have sex?
Right.
Because, yes, is this supposed to be spontaneous? Yes, but first of all, I hope we all know also that the things we see in the movies are acted.
Right.
So I think it's important to have reasonable expectations. The things we see in the movies are acted. Yes, sometimes there's a burst of spontaneity.
In the movie, sex is so dramatic.
Exactly.
Right? So they play music.
Exactly. All of a sudden, something hits you. You can't keep your hands on the person.
Then
they realize
this mad sex, like so high, and they're like, "Oh my God." But it doesn't happen like that in real life. It doesn't happen like that in real life in your family.
We have spontaneous times, of course. Do you get? There are spontaneous times, and there are, oh my God, of the moment times.
Yeah.
But there are also the everyday I'm showing up and I'm enjoying it times. And your best sex is as you go along the years.
Yeah.
Because that's when you get to know each other better. That's how you know how you function, how you operate.
Adjust to each other.
Adjust. And so sometimes I say, instead of saying, oh, we don't have, think about it. The men never tired. So the men, whether they are tired or not, is a release. The women, they are tired, having headache, they're the time of the month, all of that. But if you put a structure, and it's not for everybody, but for some people who feel like, if you put a structure and say, okay, we want to do 2 or 3 times a week. I'm just saying basic. And then you plan around it. You find out, I've seen for people, it happens more.
I remember once, this sex matter, I remember once, with an American preacher. So I was the pastor in charge of the church.
I remember.
So we took him to lunch with the head of the men's fellowship.
Okay.
The head of the men's fellowship was a Nigerian guy.
Okay.
This pastor was a Caribbean pastor.
Oh, okay.
Who mostly preaches in America. So he told the story about how once he was in America to preach for a bishop. And the bishop's wife came and met him secretly and said, "You don't know my husband." She said, "Really?" He said, "He has the devil." She said, "The husband has the devil." He says that this is my husband, you have to do deliverance for him. It was Dr. Miles Monroe. So he was telling this story. He said that the bishop's wife said, "You have to do deliverance for my husband." He said, "What does your husband do?" He said, "He always wants sex." I think my husband is an info.
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh.
Do deliverance for my husband. Then he said he leaned over the woman and said to her,
I ought to have them.
"Yeah, if you find the person who is doing deliverance for your husband, come and add me to the list because I also always want sex." Then guess who shouts next? The men's fellowship leader who was with me. And without conditions. So like American bishop, Caribbean bishop, and Nigerian man all agree that they want more sex, but the women don't want. What are you going to say to the women?
I think we also have to find a fine balance. Sorry, a woman is talking now. So that's it. I think men will always want more sex.
Okay.
And I think we need to understand whether and I think it's even not even more romantically as much as it's physiologically.
Okay.
It's physiological, it's physical. I know that there was something I was reading that they need, maybe every 72 hours or every 48 hours. So even for their mental well-being. And I don't know how the eunuchs survive or maybe the eunuchs will say they have been, they've dealt with that part. Yeah. Or maybe those have decided to go through celibacy or by will. I don't know how they survive. So even physically, it is healthy, especially as a married man, basically. So now this is what happens. A man wants all the time. Some women want all the time too. So it's not only men that have a strong libido, you've told us, but let's look like general. If you do that, a woman wants sometimes. because she's bound by how she feels emotionally,
Yeah.
how she feels. So, guys, I'm angry, but I'm okay. I want it.
Yeah.
I'm sad. I want it. I'm stressed. I want it. A woman is, I'm tired. No, don't touch
Yeah.
me. I'm angry. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
You've not talked to me. Don't even come near me.
Yeah.
And so there's emotional intimacy and communication that is needed. And we now have to find a middle ground.
Right.
And the middle ground is that nobody gets the shorter end of the stick. Everybody must feel validated. So I think the woman must know that, okay, look, this is important to my husband. This is not just a need, but not a want, but a need. And it is something that must be done, and it makes him happy. The woman must also, and then the woman herself must also say to herself that this is a part of marriage I must enjoy, not endure. Do you get? God created sex to be enjoyed by both male and female. So a lot of women think, oh my goodness, this must be endured. They want it. I need to do it. So there's a lot of rewiring, which we even do for women before they get married. To say, let's rewire what you think about sex. So a lot of rewiring that happens. And then we now have to come in and we have to say both parties need to enjoy it. So the man is saying, what will make my wife enjoy it? The wife is saying, what will make my husband enjoy it? The woman is checking what frequency works. The man is thinking what frequency is suitable also for my wife. So you see, it made two people. You know what the Bible says about love? No one seeks his own honor. Man is looking out for woman is looking out for man. He would do better.
Right.
There'll be some good times, and there'll be some down times. Let's face it. Maybe a busy time at work. Maybe someone is tired.
Maybe someone is sick.
Maybe someone is sick. Maybe someone is just going through a bad patch. So there'll be those times. But I think if we're constantly looking out for one another, if we're really seeing it as a want, a need, something God created to make it enjoyable. And again, can you see all the logic that is going into it? It's sometimes marriage is spiritual, intellectual, and emotional.
Right.
Those three things at every point in time. It's spiritual, it's intellectual, it's emotional, and we can say sexual.
Yeah.
So for you sometimes to reach that high, you have to add all the three.
Right.
And not just function on one. So I think working together, and I always say do sexual reviews. How was it? Was it good?
Right.
What do you need to change? What do I like? What don't I like? But all of these things I'm saying, Fimo, it means that you must have a good foundation for you to be able to ride on that.
So whatever kind of home and relationship you have with your spouse actually affects the quality of intimacy.
Yes, definitely.
So an intimacy is actually the goal more than the sexual high.
Yes.
I've been teaching recently in my counseling class about choosing intimacy above sexual high, because sexual high is actually about having the biggest sexual experience. Meanwhile, you may have the sexual high, but it's as if you're using the other person as a donkey.
Yes.
You understand? But if you chase intimacy, then you're thinking about the good of the other person and how the person is feeling connected to you. And that should be a better goal.
Definitely.
And in God, I feel like God's goal for establishing sex was intimacy.
Yes.
And I feel like sexual high is also what leads people into saying,
Let's have
do other parties.
threesome.
Yeah.
All the things. And people here to
Yes.
ask all those questions and say, can you do a threesome? Can
we watch porn?
Can we watch this? Can you bring yourself sexual satisfaction?
Yeah.
And you know what I say? I say it's a lazy way out.
Right.
It's a lazy way out. Do you know what it takes to keep being attracted and sexually attracted to someone for years and years and years?
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It's easier to get an addendum. It's easier to get something else. Do the work.
Right.
Do the work. And it works.
And the person who does the work is the one who reaps the benefit.
Yes.
He harvests the best crop.
Yes, and just on that, another reason why people are having also unrealistic sexual experiences is that people are dabbling into things like porn, and watching all of those things. So you are not being realistic. You fed your brain with so much garbage. And you now have an unrealistic expectation
from a human being,
from a real human being, and then multiple sexual partners you've had. Because if you've never had a sexual partner, then there's no basis of comparison. You are comparing because you had with quite a few people, and you're like, this one is not doing it like that person. Yeah.
The other part of marriage is raising children. Raising children.
My best part, actually.
I know you lead an organization called Warrior Moms. Tell us, what's the vision behind Warrior Moms?
So Warrior Moms really just came as inspiration from the Lord. I had always sincerely felt that as parents, we have the divine assignment and the responsibility to bring the next generation and set up on a level higher than we did.
Yes.
Because remember Malachi, the Bible says, is that not why I brought you together? So I can have godly children.
Offspring.
And we know godly is like God.
Yeah.
So how do you raise children like God? In the family.
Yeah.
We're delegating to schools, nannies, and
Yeah.
and I have no problem with nannies.
Yeah.
You know that. But I'm like, let the nannies do all the other physical work, so
Yeah.
you can do the
You can
raising,
parent.
so
so that you can actually parent. And so, environment is a community of mothers committed to raising the next generation of history makers, change
Right.
agents, and global leaders who have a strong identity in God. We took it from that. It's called Warrior Moms Village. It takes a village to raise a
Right.
child.
So good.
In this generation, we don't have that village anymore, and we wanted to create that village.
It's moms again.
Yes, moms
It's
again.
moms again.
Yes.
And I don't have anything about moms,
understand.
but where are the fathers?
So I'll tell you what this is. We found that, like,
Yeah.
you know that women are more
Attuned.
attuned to those kind of things.
Yeah.
So what we started doing is that once a month we have a cafe and all parents are involved.
Okay.
The truth is that if a woman is saved, the percentage of her children, of her family being saved, the probability is 33 point something percent.
Wow.
If a man is saved, the percentage is like 93% plus.
Wow.
We need the men. I have no any doubt in my mind that men are valuable. Just their presence changes the equation.
Right.
Just daddy said, it doesn't even have to shout.
Right.
There's just something. You guys carry the authority of God.
Right.
Do you get? But the women, we are called the primary caregivers.
Yeah.
And so sometimes the reason why it's that way is because the women are the ones not do heavy lifting,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? They're in the everyday to-day
Yeah.
work. The reason why you bear your father's name is because it's the source of your identity and validation.
Wow.
So when someone bears her father's name or his father's name, it's not ordinary, because a man represents identity.
Yeah.
You belong.
This is my source.
This is my source. This is my source. And
Yeah.
a woman is a source of emotional connection and nurturing
And grounding.
and grounding. So
Yeah.
you see, you need both parties,
Right.
basically. So women, because yes, I think that's what I was called to. But we realize that once a month, parents, everybody does. When a man comes to know the Lord, even just watching my kids, honestly, I told them that I've taken the responsibility. I said, I pledge to be the bad cop. Basically, I own it with my full chest. They know they're happy. And I'm happy that they're not happy, but they know I love them. So they're not happy about me being the bad cop, but there's no doubt about the fact that I love them.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt about the fact that everything I'm doing is for their own good. But my husband has a different parenting approach, which is also as effective, even if not more effective. So the place of a father is a place of validation.
Yeah.
The place of a father is a place of identity. And it's also the place of authority. And you take that away, you have rudderless children.
So good.
They must respect. We were designed to work under authority.
Right.
What makes us thrive is authority. And authority doesn't cripple. Authority gives you boundaries.
An enablement.
An enablement, and there's that thing about and I say that no child has any business from starting from the scratch when they have parents. You ride on the shoulders of those that have gone ahead of you. And there's something about that thing, that ideally a father is a God representative on the surface of the earth. And so when a child is born, the father is the first person that shows them who God is.
So good. So good. Now, we're ready to be married. We've dated and we're ready to be married. But there's energy around the marriage ceremony.
Hey.
Your people must come on Thursday. My people don't like it. Did you understand this? What's the best way you counsel couples when they're having disagreement on the first project? Because the first project, I think of a relationship. Real first project of a relationship, you test it by the marriage ceremony.
Sure.
And getting to get the families to agree. How do you think people should manage a relationship in lieu of this first project?
So one of the things I say in counseling is there's a session that we do, and I call it the externals.
Okay.
And there's something before the externals, which is factors you should consider before you get married. And one of them is background.
Yes.
Because your background to a large extent determines how you turn out. And you change it by being intentional.
Right.
So if you see someone that is not even all of us are a reflection of our background. It's just the work that you've done that changes it a bit. And so one of the things I say is that you onboard your partner into your family. You have to have an onboarding meeting.
Right.
You
You understand your family best.
Yes,
so you bring the other person in.
So you're on board. You say, this is how my
This
mom
is my
is.
mom, yeah, this is my dad, this is my siblings. This one thinks they're the one who conquered China.
Yes. So these are the people you don't fight with. These are the people you don't fight with. This is how someone is stubborn. So when you onboard each other, you already have expectations.
Right.
I feel like, and the second thing I would say is this is where maturity is so important.
Key.
I tell a joke of how, Oguche's Igala,
Yeah.
and, basically me really wanting, because when I got pregnant when my son was 4 months. So I wasn't ready. I wasn't expecting it. So Oguche promised me heaven and earth and said, even whatever I want to name the child,
Yeah.
I can name, basically. And so when it was time and everything, I had my beautiful Yoruba name, wanted to name the child and everything. But of course, at that point in time, everybody just started calling my daughter by her Igala name, basically at that time. And I remember how it was just like, oh, why, what, when, and everything. But now my daughter bears her Igala name. And I made such a fuss about it. And everywhere they go, oh my God, your name is so dynamic. Oh, your name is so different. And I was like, honestly, it actually sounds a lot nicer than what I wanted.
Olushola, like your own name.
Or maybe it wasn't
Olushola Jenny. You know, Yoruba people, they don't have too many names.
No, but we started getting creative. And it was Marawa. Marawa is a nice name, but she said to herself, I said, but I'm not a Marawa, I'm a Fedo. Do you get? That's who I am.
Fedo.
And when I look at it,
cool.
and I look at it, and I say, sometimes if you can just calm down,
relax.
I just needed to relax.
This thing you don't like, you will like it tomorrow.
Or it's not a matter of life and death. Or you can call multiple names. So why am I saying that? So first is onboarding to family. So we know that, and please, I have a principle. We don't fight in-laws. Right. We don't fight in-laws, and there's nobody that should make you choose between your mother or your spouse or they're two different relationships, and both are important. So this thing that says you have to choose between me, is it your mother or me? I'm like, there wasn't ever supposed to be a choice. Yes, in hierarchy, we know who comes first. But the way life should be done when it's done properly is that there should never be a choice.
Right.
So first is the fact that you onboard the family members. This is how this is. The second is where maturity comes in to say, okay, what can bend? What can stay?
What can we do different?
What can we do different? How do we then? Third, we are a united front.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens, we go as a united front towards achieving these things.
So good. Such skills to teach. Okay, I take you back for my final question. I take you back all the way to the beginning of our questioning. I'm a young man. I like a babe, but I don't have money. Yes, I don't have money, but I like this babe.
What's the definition of money?
Well, the babe is upper class.
Okay.
Her parents live in Lekki. I live in mainland, or I live in Aja. So if we get married, we're probably going to go back to Abraham Adesoya. I'm relatively okay. I have a job, but I'm not rich.
Which is fine.
I'm not rich.
Okay.
So am I going above my pay
class,
grade, my
yes.
class, by choosing this fine girl who I cannot sleep in the night, I cannot wake up in the morning, her name is on my lips, this girl, Dabaru, Orini, Patak Patak.
You're hilarious. I think one of the things that is really important is that, I don't know, where did we get the ideology that a young man should be wealthy?
Well, it's global.
Yeah.
You see this in the movies as well. They marry the rich man and
but
stuff.
you're starting life. Do you get what I mean? Unless you have a wealthy parent, chances are that you're starting from the scratch.
Yeah.
So why did we get this ideology?
No, men have to redeem the women. Yeah. Men have to be the one to carry their women into their castle. Do you understand what I mean?
In the beginning, it was not so. Because the truth is that we were created to grow together.
Right.
So I think first...
You're talking about godly standards.
Yes.
In God's eyes. This is actually how it was supposed to be.
Yeah. Basically, starting with, let's even start, that's very practical. The first thing is this. First of all, I need a man to look at himself.
Yeah.
I don't have money now.
Right.
Doesn't mean I don't have money.
Right.
I don't know. There are two kinds of people. There's one of, oh my God, why is she above your pay grade? Because she has money? That's who you are?
Yeah.
Where's your identity?
Right.
Where is your identity? Sell a vision.
Right.
The first problem is that if you feel someone is above my pay grade, it's because you actually think you are below someone's pay grade. But you already said you have a job. You already said this is where we're starting from. You already say that this is where... So first of all, is the guy should get his identity right. And if you're about to be with a woman who doesn't see that, then I want to submit to you that you're choosing the wrong person.
Wrong person. It was the year 2001. Going into 2002, I was at a crossover service next to my girlfriend then. Her name is Hadiza. And I said to her, as we're sitting down in the presence of the Lord, I said to her, this year that is coming, we're going to be married. And she looked at me top down and said, you and who? But as the Lord will have it, the Lord shook her. So you won't believe. It wasn't until August I asked her mom. We did introduction. And I said to her mom that the woman said, I don't like long courtship. And I said, no, mommy, I'm ready. She said, when? I said, let's do December.
Okay, imagine.
That December of 2002, we were married. It seemed like there's something in the power of the spoken word that young couples are not tapping into.
Before the spoken word, there's something in the power of who you knew you were.
Right.
I think that's where
It's true. Because I used to tell her dreams.
Yes.
I tell her visions.
Yes.
I used to tell her like, man, I'm going to take you on a journey.
Exactly.
I'm going to take you somewhere.
And it wasn't careless. You were working at it. You had God. You were hardworking. You were disciplined.
Yes.
People, can you remember the house where when we first got married?
Yes.
I think 4 of us were newly married.
I remember that
All
house.
of us moved in without furniture.
Yeah.
When one person gets furniture, we will go in and sell it. All of us, everybody.
In that estate.
Yes, settled, doing well.
Yeah.
What am I saying? Is there's time and chance. People are trying to do at 25, 30, what, 45, 50s, 50. Yeah. So I think if we were going to land, I would say it all starts from who are you?
Right. Who are you?
Who are you? The quality of a relationship is dependent on the quality of the individual. Give me 2 people, one man or one woman, who knows who they are in God, who have a relationship with God, who have an understanding of their purpose, who understand their personality and their core values, and who is working towards a vision and has maybe not a lot of money now. Give them 5 years. Give me someone who has a lot of money now, doesn't understand identity, hasn't healed from baggage, doesn't know what they're going. Let's look at it in 5 years. You would see the stark
those people
difference.
produce a broken marriage while the other one produce a stable home.
Yes.
That is built well.
So I'm big on the person.
Who are you?
And the person, that's why it go back to children.
Yeah.
And because I'm big on the person, I'm big on the child.
Right.
And I'm like,
you train up this child well, the child will be the right person.
That is it.
For
That's
marriage.
it. And so it goes back to the family.
Thank you so much.
Go back to the family.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Sola Oguche-Agudah, the best marriage counselor.
Hey, I don't know about the best, but
They're absolutely incredible.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for having
for
me.
coming to Touch the Sky.
Thank you.
Super
Thank you.
appreciate.
Same here. Thank you, Pimo. God bless you.
This has to be the most profound episode of Touch the Sky podcast on marriage, friendship, relationships, dating, sex, parenting, everything to do with relationships. Sola Oguche is a very mature counselor of many years and has really incredible experience. And in today's podcast, she spoke extensively about how to enrich the wine of marriage, but also how to do relationships well. Are you the right person in a relationship? Have you developed yourself and built yourself up in a way that you will know who you are? Do you know who you are enough to be in a relationship with someone else? We all desire to have the best relationships in this world. But if you don't know who you are, then you will not be able to give somebody else satisfaction. This is an invitation for you to learn about yourself. Take a journey of discovery. And if you may, you can reach out to me, reach out to Olushola, and touch base with us. My handle is @thismoses on Instagram. You can also visit my website, colidecentral.com, and we can engage better and talk more on some of these conversations we've had in Touch the Sky. And you are invited to more episodes and more conversations. Bless.
I wanna grow to the sky, I wanna see through your eyes. Yeah, I'm not believing the lies, I'm not believing the lies. I wanna grow to the sky, I wanna see through your eyes. Yeah, I'm not believing the lies, I'm not believing the lies. Yeah.